Are you a network marketer that is looking to increase or improve your motivation? Even leaders doing really well in the field, I know I've experienced this myself, sometimes we can just have a sense that you just feel like you could do more, or you're a bit confused as to why things aren't going as well as you'd hope for, and that can get to us mentally. So I've been in the industry for a long time, worked with a lot of network marketers, built my own successful business here. I can't guarantee results, but I can guarantee that I'll give you my truth and observations of what really works to bring your motivation up so you can enjoy what you're doing and ultimately get better results. So let's just dive straight in. I like to get straight to it. I'm a practical guy, so let's just get to the point. So I've got some notes off screen here, and we're just going to dive into those. So first and foremost, some people will say to you, if you're saying, well, I don't feel very motivated, they will kind of personally or professionally in your life say, well, just kind of suck it up. Just get on with it, just go for it. Life is tough and all that kind of thing. Now, the problem with sweeping like a lack of motivation under the rug is we're not really addressing what the cause of it is. So it will rear its ugly head again at some point in the future, and typically it will then have 2 heads or 3 heads when we really could have solved it earlier on. So the last thing I would advise you to do is, if you feel demotivated or not as motivated as you would like, is to just simply ignore it and try and work your way around it or through it. Often when you do that, there's a temporary sort of release or relief. But what often happens is we can lead ourselves straight into burnout. And that would be the first place I would advise you to look for a lack of motivation, especially if you're someone whose life is going what you would say is well. Business is okay and life is okay, and yet my motivation is below okay. It could be that you've burnt out. If you're having trouble sleeping, if you have an elevated heart rate, if you are finding that you are easily irritable, these are signs of burnout. These are signs that you have worked too hard for too long. So if that makes sense to you, you're like, oh, tick, tick, tick. Maybe at first, before really trying to pull yourself to pieces and get into a lot of tactics, maybe think about, well, would it be smart for you to just take a little rest? Take a day off, a week off, take a vacation if you can afford it, or just go for some walks, have some downtime. At the very least, don't be building your business continually. I recommend at least 1 clear day per week you do have nothing to do with business. No messages, no emails, no nothing. You literally just go and do whatever else it is that you want to do in your life. I also recommend, and if you're my client of mine, you'll know this, we go quarter by quarter and have a reward at the end of each quarter, which is something to really look forward to. So there should always be these enjoyable activities that are not business related happening every week and happening every quarter at the very least. Now, moving on from that, if you're saying, well, no, everything is okay, I'm not burnt out, mentally I'm all right, I'm just demotivated, I would say, nothing beats a motivation improvement than a sale. Like, we're so easily pleased in network marketing. I remember myself, I'm like, this doesn't work. Oh no, I'm never going to get there. And then you make like $15 on a site, be like, woo, money, money, money. You know what I mean? Be like, all of a sudden, I'm like 20 times the entrepreneur I was before that sale. We're easily pleased in network marketing. So sometimes it can just be that if you're honest, you're like, well, I haven't really been working hard enough, or there's some low-hanging fruit. You could just follow up with these people. There's a promotion you haven't informed anybody of. You could email your list, put a bit of effort in and be like, yeah, if I just do that, I could probably get a handful of sales, and I bet you'd feel much more motivated having new people to work with. So are you doing all you can is the question to get the sales and signups? If you're not doing all you can to get your motivation improved, okay? And if you are a beginner or you're yet to make a sort of 10 sales yourself, well, get the education you need. The worst place to stay is in the middle of a road. You'll get run over eventually. Cross the road to the other side, and at least then you can rest. So go elevate your skills, go invest in your business. It isn't going to grow by itself. Next thing I would mention is identify the removal of additional sort of leech relationships or leech habits. You know the leeches, right? It attaches to your skin, usually like in the jungle, and it sucks the blood out of you. And we don't want those attached to you in a mental capacity. Now, these can come in 2 forms. It can be something you're doing yourself. Maybe you are staying up and watching Netflix until 1 a.m. and now you've sleep deprived over the past 3 months and you wonder why you feel down. You're literally torturing yourself with sleep deprivation. It could be that you're in a relationship where you fail to set boundaries around many areas, and you find yourself really doing like, you're the one cleaning up all the household, cleaning up the mess of the other person. You're the one having to listen to all their negativity. They never want to listen to you. When it comes to business, they're poking holes in it. If you're in that kind of misaligned relationship, someone is take and never giving. If you're give and never taking, your cup is going to run empty sooner or later. And these personal issues can often show up as business problems if we don't take a step back and say, well, hang on a minute. Is this fair? Is this right? Have I got these activities or relationships that are causing issues? So take a look at your life in that sense and know that your business is really an extension of you and your performance. People often don't have pure business problems. They have personal problems that show up in their business. So we need to really take a look at that if we're demotivated. The next thing I would say is, with all of that being said, what we often can see when I'm working with people is they're following a plan that isn't fit for purpose. So let me ask you this. How motivated would you be to remain let's say we go out in a car together. I know it'd be weird if we don't know each other. I just turn up, beep, beep, come on, let's go for a road trip. You'd be like, what? It's a guy from YouTube. But you get the gist, right? We're in a car together. We know each other. And you know the destination that we need to get to. And you also know the route to get there because it's in your local area. Now, if me as a newcomer to that area, if I say, no, we're going to take a left here and it's right, you're going to get pretty agitated pretty quickly and you're going to want to end that journey. If I keep taking further and further away from the destination, I'm the wrong way on the freeway, eventually you're going to go, stop, Richard, and you may as well let me out the car. I don't know what is wrong with you, but you're taking me further away from where we need to be. It's easier for me to get an Uber or a taxi or a bus or whatever, or anywhere other than the wrong way. So if you're doing that in your business, what do you think that's going to do to you in your motivation? If you know, and you don't really believe subconsciously that what you're being taught or the plan that you're following is never going to get you to the destination, i.e. the result that you want, sooner or later you're going to sabotage that. At the very least, you're going to become demotivated. I see this a lot when people are focusing mainly on social media marketing. They're like, I want to be a top earner. I want a high performing team full of high producing quality people. I want a bunch of customers. I want these really good people and really great conversations. I'm like, but all you're doing is random prospecting and posting to the same people. Posting is just modern day billboards. Prospecting is modern day cold calling. Why are you expecting this high quality with these low quality methods? And do the numbers. You want a team of 5,000 people who think you can get there one message at a time, one post at a time? That just ain't going to work. Even if you're good at those things, it's going to take you an unnecessary amount of difficulty and duration to achieve those goals. And you know this. You're not silly. You know this. So if you're posting and prospecting and you're getting a couple of signups a week and you really need 10 a week, how long before you're demotivated? How long before you have the realization that this plan is not fit for the purpose of the destination I want to get to? So maybe it's that. Maybe you need to take a step back and say, okay, let me evaluate your techniques. Evaluate the way that this is progressing, the way it's going. If you just keep on banging your head against the wall, it's still going to hurt and you're going to get less motivation to repeat it, right? It's like touching something hot. How many times before you lose motivation to do that? We don't want to have that incorrect plan in your business. So was this helpful? Was this useful? I've got some additional resources here that you can now move on to if you wish to. And that would be if you go to the link that's in the top comment, and it's also in the description area. I sometimes take these audios and use them for my podcast. So if you're on the podcast, it's the description. YouTube, it's going to be in the top comment. That is nothing for sale. It's a link to my free Facebook community. Now, this is not a community like the ones that you've probably been in, where people are just pitching and spamming. If anybody pitches you, you screenshot it, they are done. If someone posts about their business, their post has to be approved by me, so it never sees the light of day. I remind them not to do that, and then the second time they're done. So this is all about you coming into a high quality community with ambitious marketers that really want to do better in the company that they're already in. So if you're committed to growing a high producing team, more loyal customers, and you don't want to do that with shoddy posting and prospecting, being glued to the phone, you'd rather have more professional methods, or at least not have to rely on the posting and prospecting, then that will be a great place for you to be. Go to that link, request your invitation, I'll send it over to your email, join my group. I'll approve you personally. I'll also, welcome you into the groups. If you have any questions for me, let me know there and then. And then I'll also guide you to the guides section in that group where you can see some really powerful trainings. One that springs to mind is my YouTube 1 million views case study, how I sponsor 750 people using this platform. And then another is 4 high trust lead generation methods that are really, really useful if you want more high producing, high quality leads. I think both of those will motivate you for sure. So if you want access to those, go to that link. They're all free, as is being in the community. I look forward to serving you really, really well inside of there. As I always say, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires than excuses. If you have a team or you have a network or an upline, you have a group, you think this video would be useful for anyone else who's potentially a little bit demotivated, or prevention is better than cure, right? Helping them keep their motivation high and their production high may help them avoid being demotivated. You have my permission to put this resource in there, or ask your upline to say, hey, I've watched this video, take a look. Do you think we could share this in the group? I'd be appreciative. Yes, that's the right word, if you did. I'll catch you on the next one if you're a subscriber. Have a fantastic day, whatever you're doing. I hope this has really helped you, and bye for now. Have a good one.